So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Meditation Minyan. I'm Rabbi Hannah Leslie Glazer from Congregation Adat Re'im. So glad everyone is with us, either live and on the Zoom or watching the recording afterwards. And we are continuing with our series on spiritual values of the Omer from the Jewish mystics. And I'm going to share my screen so we can talk about this week's session and what we're going to be addressing today. All right, so here it is. As we have discussed in the past, we are having a meditation each week on a different spiritual value in Jewish Kabbalah, in Jewish mysticism. Each of these values are called sfirot. They're qualities of holiness that we try to experience and receive in our lives and then express in our lives and our relationships with others. So we are now on week 5 of the 7, and it is Hod. Hod is often defined as humility, acceptance, or splendor. I'm going to share a slightly different interpretation of it today. I think this is one of the really wonderful things about the Sfirot is that they really are so multidimensional, and as many Hebrew words are and Hebrew terms are, and there is some really beautiful depth to Hod that I think I want to share with you today. So without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing and we will begin our meditation. So want you to sit back in your seat and get comfortable and bring the shoulders back so that opens up heart space. Just breathe into that heart space. We have this just glorious spring morning unfolding around us this morning. Cool and sunny and bright. And the air just feels really delicious outside, and just open up our spirit to that delight of spring around us. Hod is about delight, and we'll get there, explaining how that works. So yeah, just take a couple breaths and breathe in that delicious delight of spring, the birds chirping and the flowers blooming. Wonderful spring day. Let's do a quick scan of the body and make sure that we've got all of our pieces and parts relaxing. Start with the forehead, the face, the jaw, the eyes, the neck, the chest, and the shoulders. Again, you want to make sure you're relaxing against your seat, whatever you're sitting on. Really let yourself sink into that seat. The belly, the lower back, and the hips. The legs, the feet, the upper and the lower arms, and last but not least, the hands. As you breathe in, just a good deep breath into the belly. And as you breathe out slowly, Just let everything relax, settle into your seat. So in our exploration of the Sphirot, we've started with the outpouring of love, which then flowed into a container of Gevura, of boundaries and containment, which then turned into the balance and the give and take of Tiferet, which then got channeled through Netzach in the form of initiative and perseverance. And I think of that like the Israelites crossing through the Red Sea, the Sea of Reeds, coming out on the other side, and that impetus that drew them forward. That was Netzach. It's like coming through a narrow place, and it's almost like beginning again. It's that initiative to get up and go, but also to continue. It's the energy that we put into it. Hod is going to be the counterpart to that. It's going to be the things that happen once we've put our energy into the system. It's the continuation. What happens after our initiative? What happens after our perseverance? It's the way that things flow once we've put them into place. You know, if you stop to think about it, there's so much in our world that just happens all on its own, almost as if it's a miracle. Our bodies breathe and digest our food, and our body heals, and there's just all kinds of things that happen in our world that we don't actually have to do anything. They just are, and the world just unfolds around us, kind of miraculous ways, given how little we actually have control over. And that's Hod. Hod is the miracle of movement unfolding in our lives. The Jewish mystics sometimes call it eternity because it's like inertia. It would just keep going forever if it weren't stopped. Hod is the unfolding of the leaves after the buds start to form, and then you see the leaves unfurl and become full leaves. That's Hod. It's sometimes called glory or splendor because it does feel kind of miraculous. Those of you who are connected with me on Facebook might have seen I posted a picture of a whole flower bed full of irises, really gorgeous purple irises, and they just felt like a real expression of Hod to me. So in our meditation, we're going to think about, appreciate the areas of Hod in our lives. The miracle of movement, how things that we set into motion will continue to play out and unfold and emerge without us necessarily having to do anything to affect it. the miracle of change that brings us to a better place without us having to take responsibility for it. Hod is about the relinquishing of control and letting the world unfold in all of its miraculous ways. And so we're just going to sit with that awesomeness for another 8.5 minutes. Enjoy, my friends. I'm going to put myself on mute here, and I'll see you back very soon. Welcome back, everyone. When you're comfortable, you can open up your eyes. Just want to appreciate the exploration of Hod, something you can take with you into your week and enjoy it. The delight of being able to surrender control and let things go. And who knows, maybe they turn out even better than we might have expected. I know in a lot of cases that happens with me. And there's definitely delight in that. And maybe for a blessing for all of us this week and going forward. I come back to Hod reasonably frequently because it's just a great meditation to do. So enjoy it, and the recording will be up on our website this afternoon or evening. And we thank you again for joining us for Meditation Minion, and we'll be back next week with week 6 of the Omer and our next spiritual value. Thanks again for joining us. See you next week.